Chapter number 6. Sweet and Bitter. When you are 26 years old, it's easy to believe that love conquers all. I certainly wanted to believe that Jamie would stick to his commitment and change his ways, and he genuinely seemed to be digging deep to tunnel his way back to being a reliable and loving husband and father. First, he rededicated himself to God, and his renewed faith inspired him to work with the young people at Greenlaw Baptist Baptist Church, where we attended, and also to work alongside some men he knew who were struggling with the same kinds of addictions that had brought Jamie to his knees. Finally, he replaced drinking with more positive activities, like working out at the gym. Jamie wanted to so badly to be healthy in body and spirit. His construction business started booming, and we decided to build a health spa together. This was in the early 80s, mind you, years before spas were to become popular. For our area especially, a spa was a model enterprise altogether. The health and wellness aspects of the spa business seemed to spill over into our lives, and we both ate really well and exercised regularly. All the energy and attention Jamie had wasted on drinking, he now poured into building his business, his body, and most important, his family. We were like the Barbie and Ken of Kenwood. It was the perfect. It was that perfect. He became a devoted daddy, investing hours into his little sports nuts life as a volunteer coach for just about any sport you can name. Life was so good. When I took Jamie back, part of me was very skeptical despite my youthful optimism. Before I had decided to give him one more chance, I lost track of the occasions that Jamie promised me he would never stumble around our house or a bar somewhere, slurring his speech, acting like a horny drunk one more time. How many times had I heard that song and dance before? How many times I had been disappointed, so I didn't trust him immediately. It took almost a year before I really believed his turnabout was real. Day by sober day, as kind words replaced mean ones and destructive deeds were replaced by constructive ones, I could see that his actions matched his promises. That time period, which I think of as golden years, was filled with friends and laughter too. We would throw these great big cookouts and crawfish boils out at our place, and we had so much fun. For those of you who did not grow up in the South, a crawfish boil is a seasonal celebrated food favorite, especially in Louisiana. It's our version of a barbecue. We would invite a lot of friends and family, and we'd cook up some crawfish, or as some of us country folk call them, crawdads, in a huge kettle with potatoes, corn, spice, and herbs. Really, you could throw anything in there that doesn't cook to pieces. I have to hand it to Jamie because he has the best recipe of all time for a crawfish boil. No one can touch him there. After about a year of living peacefully together, we decided it was time for another baby. Sandra burst into tears when she found out she was pregnant. She was 35, had to be lively, but had two lively voice that kept her running from morning till night, and another baby was the last thing she thought she needed. Of course, as I told Britney years later when she as I told Britney years later when she had an unplanned pregnancy, it's often those surprises that end up blessing us the most. That was certainly the case with Lara Lynne, Sandra's beloved, an expected child, and my precious niece. I, on the other hand, was beside myself with joy when I found out I was carrying another child, whom I just knew would be a girl. We two sisters had opposite pregnancies in every way. Poor Sandra was scrawny and beside by morning sickness, and I was a classic fat and happy mama to be, with energy to burn. We worked together daily at my daycare center, and every chance we got, we would exchange tips, discoveries, and ideas about our pregnancies. Sandra and I spotted nursery details and swapped magazine articles on the last and greatest trends in bringing up baby, and generally obsessed as pregnant women do about the new lives growing inside of us. Mama worked with us at the daycare, and she would chuckle at our little brooding hen parties. You're wasting your time reading all those magazines because when your baby comes, you will just do what comes naturally, she would say, shaking her head. Each baby is so different, you'll figure it out along the way. And if you don't, why? Just call me. Britney Jean Spears was born on December 2, 1981, after 21 hours of labor, but who's counting? She was in she was and is a blessing, God's gift to me and her father. When Brittany and Laura Lynn were born, those girls were like twins from different families. As babies, we would lay them down for naps in the same crib, watching them sleep and marveling at them the way mothers do. Sandra and I would plan which Christmas gifts to get them, as we always got them the very same dolls or toys to open under the tree. Those two even more matching outfits. That's how much like sisters they were. Sandra and I shared some of the best moments of our sisterhood watching those girls develop a bond much like the one we had always had. I always like to think about me and my sister and our little girls as being the 4 points of a square, sturdy and indestructible. Years later, Jamie Lynn would be in the middle, everyone's baby that we all shared and dotted on. The sweet. When I look back on those 5 years of our lives together, when Jamie and I were so close and we had two beautiful children, they were far and above finer than any years that came before or after them. For years, I have written poetry in a journey, jotting down like little rhymes that capture some slice of life or emotional I was experiencing. Certainly, Emily Dickinson's legacy is safe from any threat by poetic contributions. But hey, my poems are therapeutic, to me anyway. Here's a snippet about my life with Jamie. I'll talk more it later. Every time I look at you, I see bittersweet memories of you and me, precious moments that we shared from the start. What returns for me in the memory of those 5 years is the sweet, an oasis of calm and happiness in our often turbulent life together. The bitter would revisit our lives in time. I've always found comfort in the saying, "This too shall pass," especially in difficult times, because it suggests that at some point the pages turn on our darkest days. The problem is sometimes you don't want anything to change, and it does anyway. Me and my beautiful children, me and my beautiful children, early days.